My Gavan and Melodine, and well met indeed. I'm Arike Galadirthan, and welcome back to Middle Earth as we continue on as Khazad-dûm. Episode number 9, I believe. And I know it is. I don't believe I know it is. A recap from last episode: we beat the Balrog, sent him packing, then we formulated an army, and High Lord Balin was chosen to lead it. An army of trash, many of you have pointed out. And they're going to ride north, tippy-tappy all the way north, and we're going to go and wipe out Goblin-town and then make our way up to Gundabad to try and save Erebor, who are being beaten by Gundabad. We took Ost-in-Athil back as well, and we are also formulating an army now that our primary army is left. A secondary army is being trained that will go over and take out Koloniak as well, which annoyingly has been upgraded into a goblin castle. That's a shame. And that's about where we are, really. We defeated an army of the goblins in Ost-in-Athil. The dwarven catapult turned machine gun, wore them all down, destroyed them utterly and atrociously. And they are now all dead. And that's where we are. We will be fighting primarily Moria, and then the war against Gundabad will last quite a long time. We need to actually beat Gundabad, don't we? Isn't that part of our victory conditions? Orcs of Gundabad, yes it is, and then it's Dunland. But of course we want to attack the elves at some point, but I don't know, we'll see what happens when we get there. We'll just keep the dwarves running north for now. But hello everyone, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good noon everyone, since Rasadas first. Good morning from Portugal. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Since when do dwarfs ride? Good morning everyone. They don't ride, but we'll be riding north in the grander sense of the word. But I think for the moment we're probably at an end turn, so we will press the space bar to make sure everyone moves quickly. Oh, where are you going, Ferrin? Oh, are you the grounding point for the army? Yes, you are. And we'll end the turn. Today, I'll be with you for about an hour and a half, as usual. And we will play Khazad-dûm. I imagine we'll be taking Goblin-town in today's escapades. And then the army will go north and see what we can do against Gundabad. See if we can't hit them. Did everything earlier today. Got up from bed, watered down my garden and made lunch just so I can now enjoy the live stream in peace. Well, I'm pleased. And welcome along. Welcome to all of you. Welcome each and every one of you. I, despite going to bed relatively early yesterday, only woke up about 30 minutes ago. So, I'm quite tired, to be honest. But we'll go anyway. Minas Tirith is under attack and Orien Osgiliath has been lost. And they would like us to send a diplomat to Enid Wythe. Are we on the way to Enid Wythe? What are they going to give us? They're going to give me a crappy unit. Oh, no doubt. I would rather go to Enid Lewin. And our other fellow's off on the way to Iron Hills. I do find it interesting, and this is just a comment on people in general, not any specific one person. But in the last episode, 750 new citizens arrived in Khazad-dûm. Is that it? Is that literally all we got? No units at all. Oh, we got an Axe Guard of Erebor. Oh, good. But in the last episode, I mentioned, of course, that you need to send your diplomat to Erebor, and you need to send your diplomat to the Iron Hills. So I am doing both of those things. I've sent him to Erebor, and he's now on his way to the Iron Hills. And I made that quite clear in the episode. I don't think that point was ever up for discussion. But, lo and behold, I've had 2 comments, both saying, Gallo, you need to send your diplomat to the Iron Hills to get the full reinforcements. So, do these people watch to the point, like if they've watched far enough in that they've seen me send the diplomat to Erebor, then how have they missed me say, I also need to send him to the Iron Hills? I just don't get it. But that is something that you are cursed with when you're on YouTube, is the constant comment bizarreness and oddities that people come up with. Back here we can't really do too much. Everything's building because we're absolutely overwhelmed with money. So there's not really all that much going on back here. Might as well queue up every building in every location because we will now never want for money again. The money situation is firmly rounded. Those 750 citizens as well. The Khazad-dûm script really needs a good going over. It really does. 750 citizens is basically useless. What am I going to get out of that? It doesn't change my mithril mines in any way. I'm happy for the units, but I don't care about the citizens. I think that's another one we need to get rid of. I'll be going a grudging today, says Firebrand Gaming, and then Dorian Smorian's comment has been redacted. Hello, good morning. Never seen you so rich in a campaign. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Totally flying in the face of my usual attempts, whereby we spend most of the game bankrupt. Good morning, Gallo. First stream I've been able to make since your nuptials. Well, good morning. Good morning from Michigan. Hello there. Hello, Gallo. How are you? I'm very well, Goya Nadazagal. Very well indeed. It is a bank holiday weekend here in the United Kingdom, which means that most of the country, as long as you don't work in services or healthcare or... and that pretty much covers it, doesn't it? We all get Monday off. The country collectively decides that anyone who doesn't work shift work and anyone who's not absolutely required gets Monday off. So it's a 3-day weekend. We've got a daughter that wants a husband. I'm more inclined to take husbands because they then create blood children rather than adoptees, so I will take him on. I saw again another comment that I get an awful lot is, Gallo, why don't you accept adoptions? And this time someone very kindly and very succinctly explained the situation in that you will get adoptions every single turn until the game believes you have enough generals. I'm going to ignore Captain Ziegler because him being there means that he's not guarding Goblin-town. So we'll go and hit past him. But you'll get an adoptions. The game thinks you should have a certain number of generals depending on the number of towns you have. It's something like the number of towns you have -2. That's a guess, but it's something like that. And the game will just keep offering you adoptions until you reach that fabled number when it then thinks, yes, I now think you've got enough. I will stop trying to give you adoptions. And so you can be very picky. And I know many of you will say, like, oh, you should take all these adoptions because then you can put all these people in the towns, they can become governors, you'll make more money, yada, yada, yada. But we don't need the money. And it's a micromanagement level of gameplay that I've never been bothered with. Never been bothered with. But now we've got enough troops now that we could form a sort of army, but we've got him coming down. We've got to watch out for Ziegler. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take the best of the best because we don't need the best to defeat a captain-led army. Absolutely no way. And then we'll take those labourers back. You go and stand in that side, and you can keep those archers then. And what are you training? Yeah, you're training those. Another question. Someone said, why don't I train the Zenith Guard? And it's for that exact same reason. I don't like to have loads and loads of generals. And Zenith Guard, when they train, become a general. They do not stand as their own unit. They become a general. And I don't need them. I don't want another general, so I won't be training them. I'm not really overly bothered about having loads and loads of generals. It's a core running theme of my of my channel, really. Now, when Lord Floyd gets down to Osnathil, we'll drop off. In fact, in many ways, those Dragon Slayers should just be disbanded. I'm never going to bother to hold on to them long enough to send them all the way up here to retrain to be a full unit. No way. And 2 merchant cav, we can. It's just not necessary. Get rid of all of that crap. Right, so they're gone. They're gone. Forget about them. We've put them out to pasture. Can we get any other troops from anywhere else? No, we cannot. We cannot. Does DaC looking for more testers mean version 5 could be closer in release? Well, I have some wonderful news for you all. The changes and the work towards the reunited kingdom and Arnor are now in full swing, and the reunited kingdom and Arnor are closing in on being completed, as I understand it, alongside Dunland. So changes finally being made, I believe that's why they want testers, to see how the arcade works, see how Arnor plays with it, and which one is more favourable. This is streaming software is doing my nut in now. It is noticeably behind, whereas it used to have no issue at all, and I just have no idea what's changed. And I know that none of you comment and none of you say that it's a problem, but it bothers me extensively. Have we ended turn since we arrived here? No, we've not. Right. Well, our army's not going anywhere for now anyway, so let's just end the turn and see what happens. By the way, Gallo, you need to send your diplomat to the Iron Hills. Morning from Prague. Good morning. Gallo, send your diplomat to the Iron Hills ASAP. Hello, Gallo, in the chat. Morning. After cleaning up the High Elves, are you planning on attacking the Elves of Galathrim? I'd rather do it the other way around. We'll take Lothlorien first. Good morning from Romania. They have wronged us. Good morning from Cardiff. Good morning. What kind of holiday are you celebrating in the UK? It's a bank holiday. And this one is just the summer bank holiday. So it's not commemorating anything. It is, and it's called a bank holiday because what it is, the reason that we get them is because the banks collectively agreed to have certain days where they would just not open. And this is one such day. So the banks are the ones that are closed, and then it's slowly spread to other professionals. And that's what it is. This one is called the late summer or high summer bank holiday. So it is just a day off because it's a nice time of year. So people might want a day off. That's all it is. We have made contact with the Iron Hills via our agent, my lord. The dwarves there were expecting the worst, so the news of our victory came as a massive surprise. They were delighted, and the lord there promised to rally support for our cause. Let us hope the lord stays true to his word, for if he does, then in time we'll have many dwarven fighters from the far east ready to defend Khazad-dûm. That'll be interesting to see when they come through then. Oh, a faction's been destroyed. Oh, the Anduin are out. The Anduin are out. That's all because of me and not fighting with them at the very beginning. I have brought about their demise. Right, build a feast hall. And Ardenaim and Harad are now at war with each other, and the Ardenaim and Khand have broken their alliance. Oh, and the goblins have done that most stupid of thing and come out to meet me with an army of crap. Oh, and Zolgrol has come back. He realises the threat I pose. Alright, so this is going to be an hour and a half of just knocking goblins every which way but south for a good hour or so. So, sit back, relax, and brace yourself for the carnage that's about to ensue. We'll knock them around and they'll nae forget us anytime soon. I would like a few more troops to go south then. I know we're all trash, but against goblins it just doesn't matter, does it? There we are, some fresh units. Right, so you're going to take, how many of those are there? 4? 4. I'm leaving 3, 3, 6. I'll take the catapult. I don't really want anything else, to be honest, but I'll take them to try and get them killed off as well. And them, I suppose. Well, why don't we take all of that and just leave the general on 1 unit? Yeah. There we are, the army readies. Good morning from Buckinghamshire, Gallo, and hello to the chat. Good morning all, good morning all, good morning all. Yay, it's the dwarves are too easy live again. Hey Gallo, is there any particular reason for the Tawar having such a small unit size? While playing as the Woodland Realm, I had a feeling that they could just not pull their weight from the mid-game on. No, I don't have an answer to that, I'm afraid. All Elven battalions were made smaller than other counterparts, and I think the Woodland Realm, it may have gone a bit far, but in essence, the change between Lothlorien and the Woodland Realm was to make the Woodland Realm have less people in their battalions, but make them more aggressive and stronger. And I believe that was applied to their generals as well, but that was done essentially in a vacuum. So when you then step back and you look at the army, or you look at the enemy, you look at the unit, sorry, and you think, oh, they've got 60 men, for example, and then you think, ah, balls, but the Imladris bodyguard has like 80, and they're 10 times better than these guys. Then obviously changes should be made, but they weren't, and it was just another one added to the list. So there's a long-winded way of me saying that basically their numbers were decided based on the differences between Lothlorien and the Woodland Realm, and that small vacuum of space was not applied to the wider situation, thus leaving the little bit of an oddity that they have low numbers compared to other nations who they shouldn't have low numbers against, is being the best explanation I can give. Right, fire at will, all of you. Rain what you can down on the enemies. We've got a fair few archers today. And we need to make sure that the archers do not get shot in the back by our siege. Now, I want to just stay where we are for now, on the hope that our siege might be able to hit the enemy. And in order to do that, actually, let's put the siege in the front line. Let's put archers behind, because we can run our troops through the siege very easily. Right, I'll take those as a front line, and we'll take the 1, 3, 4 of them. Shamble lines! You're going to be the main aggressive force. Balin and the weak chaff, you go left. And the 2 strongest aggressors, you go on the right. Start the battle. Fire at will! Fire at will! Fire at will! Bring them down! They are going to let us shoot them. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that is a terrible... You're supposed to be the most accurate siege unit in the game. What carnage is that? Absolute madness. Now we have got a bit of a better hill over here, actually. And also let's turn all of these onto fire mode. We could turn them into mortar shots, I suppose, but it doesn't make too much difference. The mortar does have a bigger kill zone. That is true. But... Hey, Gallo from Cornwall. And suggestions for a new player on a good faction to start as. Dol Amroth. Absolutely. Always plays Dol Amroth. Best faction in the game. Most fun faction in the game, best lore in the game, best aesthetics, nicest to look at. They're just the best faction all around, really. Good morning, Gallo. Greetings from Belgium. Looking forward to the face-off between the two of you. Yeah, me too. What do you feel about doing a Rohan campaign? Rohan is quite possibly the most boring campaign in the entire game. I rarely, if ever, have an interest in playing as Rohan. I see so many people. It's so interesting, isn't it? The breadth of skill levels that you get when people play this game. But I see a lot of people complain about how strong Isengard is at the start, and they moan through their back teeth. And they're like, "How could you guys have made them this strong? This is ridiculous. There's no way I'm going to be able to kill Isengard. What were you thinking? What are you doing?" And then anyone who's played the game even a little bit for maybe more than 2 hours will play as Rohan, and then they'll say, "Why is Rohan so ridiculously easy? Can you please make it harder?" So you're caught in this never-ending cycle of anyone who's played the game knowing that Rohan is ridiculously easy. Even with all of the difficulty spikes we've tried to add, they are still so easy. And it seems to be only like newer players that don't appreciate that. Right, let's come out of time 6. You are now in a position where Grape Shot is very warranted. We've got those on the flank. This is an army of goblin trash. I mean, every goblin army is trash. I've made that joke before, but it really is. But this is a quintessential goblin trash army. Primarily made up of Snagger, 1 or 2 goblins, and then they've got a couple of wargs to suicide into us. Give an on hubbub. Oh, if your Grape Shot fired into that right now, the death toll would be catastrophic. Come on. Let's see how many Dwarven sentries die. This is a teaser, a taster of Grape Shot. Is he going to do it? He is going to do it. Oh, and he's firing.
The enemy general lies dead.
Well, he killed the general.
Have his miserable bones, and let our swords have his men.
It's about time. Our archers are firing. Our siege is firing. Everything's firing. Let's swap you to mortar, because I think you're just going to kill most of us if you stay on Grape Shot. Alright, let's speed this up, because this is over. I'm surprised they're fighting on as long as they are. That's crazy. Gallo brings siege. Impossible. I recommend placing the catapults directly behind the front line for minimum casualties and maximum effect. I know, Neon, and so has absolutely everyone who's watched me use the catapult. Something that I do, perhaps through pride or stupidity, or maybe a combination of both, is ignore advice. Now, in real life, I don't do that at all. I take on advice, and I welcome it. And in many ways, I do welcome the advice, but I frequently ignore it. I like to try and prove to myself that my lackadaisical and, in many ways, lazy approach to playing the game still allows for victory. Which is probably the reason why the channel has never exploded, because the wider viewing audience of YouTube likes people to be absolutely cracked all the time. And I know that you're going to flood the comment section now saying, "No, Gallo, we like you because you're laid back and you don't min-max and there's issues and there's problems and it's more entertaining." And I appreciate that those of you that watch me do think that. But there's a reason why the people who are insane at the game have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And that's something that I don't have. But I know how to do things better. But I'm lazy in my application of that knowledge. My theoretical knowledge is absolutely top notch, but my application of the theory is very lacking, and that leads to more deaths than are necessary. But when I started this, I very specifically wanted to set out to show people that you do not have to be amazing to win these kinds of games. You don't have to min-max everything. You can set up a relatively basic formation and you will still win. And I've done that over all these years on YouTube now, quite successfully, I'd like to think. And I've shown that you do not have to be cracked to win these games. I play on the hardest difficulty. Even in Warhammer, I play on very hard. It's not legendary, granted, but a lot of people play on normal and even hard. So, and I still managed to win eventually. So I like to prove that you don't have to be brilliant. And so much so the channel used to... when we did Age of Empires, I named the series Average People Play Age of Empires. So when that was covered on the channel, I gave it that name to try and really hammer home that you're not watching like pros play, but it's still possible to enjoy it and play it and get a sense of achievement out of it. Whether that's worked in practice, though, remains to be seen. Alright, we've won. We lost 163 dwarves. And our top spot, the golden sword in today's battle, goes to Khazad volunteers. That's interesting. 182. I wouldn't have thought that. Never would have thought Khazad volunteers. Absolutely not. Let's just tilt the camera up. Do I want to tilt the camera up now? Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. The darkness is just because of where I am in the room, I'm afraid. Although it's interesting that this... No, that lines up. Ignore me. Ignore me. Will you play the Reunited Kingdom when it releases? As soon as the Reunited Kingdom is available and they're ready to go and set and everything is in position for, and I get the nod from the DaC team, I will absolutely play as the Reunited Kingdom. It is one of the core things I'm looking forward to doing. I really want to see how it has come to fruition. We could attack straight away, couldn't we, actually? Let's just see what the garrison is. Oh, not that great. Lots of crap. Yeah, let's just go straight in. Captain Ilkran, Goblin-town. As I understand it, though, the Reunited Kingdom and the Arnor implementation are very much just... and I've not played AGO, Finn's submod, but from what I can gather, he's just taken the work he did on AGO and just wholesale lifted it into DaC, and then tweaked it a little bit here and there to fit, I have no doubt. But then that's entirely understandable, and why wouldn't he do that? Because he's got all the framing and groundwork done in AGO, so he's just applying that to DaC, which is a good way of doing it. And I think that is why it is able to come on so relatively quickly, because all the groundwork was there, and he's just chucked it in. So I think that's how it's managed to come along. Assemble lines. Right, how are we going to get the siege to break down the gate, though? Because it's behind a annoying little ramp, which I've never really realised. So we only really need one. Catapult's going to be easier. I need you to move to like about here-ish, because otherwise there's a risk you won't hit it. Should have brought the other catapult up, actually, shouldn't I? Yeah. Are you going to destroy my catapult? Almost certainly. Don't fire at will yet, you guys, actually. I think you'll be more dangerous than beneficial. Our siege, this time, let us hope we don't kill off our general. Now, this is a very similar battle map, of course, to a Zag-Kala. Or, in fact, the Zag-Kala map is what Goblin-town used to be. And Goblin-town was reworked, and we fought in Goblin-town in my Elven one, didn't we? It's very dark, and I apologise for that, but I can't change that. I have only 60 hours on Medieval 2, and it's all on DaC. All of it on Sigma Male Dwarves. That sounded like he yelled, "I want kebab!" Also, would you consider a Lizardman campaign in Warhammer after you've conquered the world as the Beastman? Now, I'll just do a vote in Warhammer, just see... we'll see where we get to once the Torrox campaign concludes. Ah, there we are. They're in perfect position. Aiden Venema says, I have a question, because when I play Khazad-dûm, I can't go straight to Mori. I got to go around the whole mountain. I can't take the shortcut. There isn't a question in there, Aiden, but I don't know what you're referring to. You either go along the Grey Mountains and then down the Anduin Vale, and you have to make sure to stop at each red circle on the way, or you can go through the forest, again, stopping at each red circle on the way, and then you can attack the mountain. There is no shortcut. Again, is Todd completely financially and creatively bankrupt? Oh, what's your opinion on Bethesda releasing Skyrim again? Well, I mean, they're not really releasing Skyrim again, are they? For anyone who's not looked into it in any real detail, they are basically just making a Game of the Year edition version of SSE. And the only things that it includes are all of the Creation Club mods. So, I mean, it'll be like a tenner or something. I mean, I'd probably pick it up. I have thousands of hours in Skyrim, and I live by the rule that every £1 I pay for a game, I should get 1 hour's entertainment out of that game. So if I'm going to pay a AAA price, so if I'm paying 50 or 60 quid, which is what it is for us, then I want 50 or 60 hours minimum, and anything above that is a blessing. And I've played so many hours of Skyrim, and I've paid for it twice. I'm currently at like 5p an hour or something stupid. Like, I just don't care. I'm happy to continue supporting Bethesda because they've made my favourite games. Why would I not want to continue supporting that? I know it's a running joke, but this is a really minor addition of Skyrim. And it will absolutely not be stopping or slowing down the release of Starfield or TES 6. So there's no negative connotations to this. In the same way that people always get up in arms about mobile games of their favourite thing. And they would say, oh, you're wasting all your time putting your energy into the mobile game. Can you just fix the main game, please? And you have to think, no, hang on. An entirely different company makes the mobile game. The main game is made by the main studio, and someone else makes the mobile game. But people don't seem to realise that, and they get very up in arms about it. Right, let's sprint the melee line in. We need to protect the siege, and I'm doing everything I can not to get Barlin killed. But siege is notoriously difficult to wrangle through.
The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Our troops are getting caught up on it, and they're beelining for those catapults. They're going to get there before us. They are absolutely going to get there before us. What are they sending in? Wild Riders. Well, another cracking edition of how not to use your siege with Galu. That's right, the catapults will be able to fight them off, but our entire army is now going to fight those. As it floods in.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Just sprint through. None of you are on fire at will, are you? Know. I don't care if they lose a few people. They won't lose any machines, and that's what's important. It's just going to be. It's going to be very irritating how long it is going to take them. Just get in and stop them. Just get them away from the catapults, please. Alright, you're working. You're working. Oh, that one went down to only 11. Are the Wild Riders still fighting? Oh, come on. I both hate and love this game. So the Wild Riders have actually just massacred our second catapult there. No, just run right through them. Just run right into them. It's because it's my own fault. I should know. The AI always sends a trickle of units back to the gate. It's just ridiculous. It makes no strategic sense at all, and yet the AI does it every single time. They walk 1 or 2 units slowly back to the gate when you take the gate, and it's just moronic. Alright, I would like the line of siege to move up. And then Barlin's force come and stand behind the siege. Or Barlin's force, actually, you can come and stand on the right. You can sprint. You can sprint. Right, everyone get into position. And let's start raining some hell down on our enemies first. Our archers are now in prime position. There we go. Right, and as they begin to send things to us, we will slowly march forward. Nicely done. Right, so stop firing, stop firing. Melee line, move up. Let's try and claim a large chunk of the cavern. Melee line's going to go all the way to the front. Siege, catapults specifically, are going to go right to the front as well. And then we're going to have the ballister crews come to the edges. Barlin, move up to this right hand side, up you come. And archers, you're going to now go behind the siege line. I would like you all to sprint to get there long before the siege gets there. There we are. Alright, once you are there, you can fire at will and you can grape shot. For the dwarves! Get yourselves out there. Grape shot that middle, boys. Let's do it. And then as they start charging towards you, are you too close? Are you going to shoot us in the back? Let's find out. What are the numbers? 20%. We've lost 20%. Oh dear. Oh, all because of those stupid wargs at the front. Their losses are starting to rise, though, quite nicely. Alright, let's move in. If you're not engaged, you're going to flank. The main force, or the catapults and the ballista crew will just hit those that are sitting back up here. They don't have a general, remember, so there's no one really to kill. And we've already made the captain die, so we've already got the best out of that. PP, I'm not the most regular watcher, but I like to binge some campaigns, and therefore it is to be said your thumbnails are awesome. Maybe it's my OCD, but that make your channel that much more enjoyable. Well, thank you, PP. That's very kind of you. I like the simple thumbnails, always have them. Matt asks, how do you feel about Watford missing out on Messi as well as Ronaldo in this transfer window? Yeah. I didn't even know there were rumours that Ronaldo was going to United, and then I just woke up to the post saying he was there. That was crazy. United must be absolutely loving it. The amount of income he's going to bring, the amount of revenue, and the homecoming that they're going to give him, it's going to be unreal. I think on the sheer buzz of having Ronaldo back at Old Trafford is going to really revive them and force them forwards. Oh, I didn't tell the archers to fire at will. We've missed out on a whole section of our... Oh, and we've used up all the grape shot. Oh no, they haven't used up all the grape shot. You're not fighting, are you? They're desperately trying to get through to the... to those catapults.
Only half the enemy force remains.
If you swap to mortar shot, hit those skirmishers at the back. You've got to target someone. Stop just standing around. There we go. Oh, they've missed. They missed every single one. Barlin, you could probably come and get involved now. Must find something for you to do. Oh, we've completely beaten them back. Get those orc hunters there.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
No, now we stop. Now we stop. Now we stop. Alright, let's just charge in then, guys. Let's get this over. Keep it at ×6, please. As it is over. 35% we've lost. Now remember, we will heal some, so it's not all or nothing. Anthony Buchanan, I would really like to see that part of the script redone. Not so much the travelling, the stopping and battle can get annoying and it has a tendency to glitch out on me. Is that in relation to the Khazad-dûm script? I presume. There's a lot of things about the Khazad-dûm script that just need updating now that lots of things have changed, and that's all good. The RK is very stable in the AGO submod, so good to hear will be mostly the same for DaC. Coco Joe Gaming. Nice, I finally make it to one of the streams. It's 6:23 right now for me. Hope you're having a great day, Gallo. I'm having a good day thus far. My day consists almost exclusively of this streaming because I was asleep for a long time. Belisarius the 7th, the 1st. Belisarius the 7th, I won. I did the very same thing and I called it the pound per hour rule. Yeah, I've always done that. Always done that. Dwarven Catapult 310, Dwarven Catapult 344. Taking the golden sword as they often do. Absolutely no troubles. Will you play a Gondor campaign in the future? Probably. Gondor is very, very popular. I don't think they're the most popular. I think the Reunited Kingdom and the Ardenaeum are probably the most popular now. Not the Reunited Kingdom, the Northern Dundam. I did not ask that the right way. I've captured Khazad-dûm. I can't go to the other half of it. I have to go round the mountain. You either cannot leave the region you're in because you didn't stop at the red circles at the right points, which means the script is bugged, or you can go everywhere. The script stops you from leaving certain regions, and the only way to unlift that restriction, Aiden, is to make sure that you stop at those red circles. And in the start of this campaign, in episode number 1, I did not stop at the red circles, and that is exactly why I had to replay the whole thing off screen, which I mentioned in the second episode. So if you haven't stopped, you will probably just have to start the whole thing again. There's no real way around that. I'm going to make it my mission this week to look into changing, to doing something about this stream, because it's really irritating me how out of sync my voice is. It might not be out of sync for you, of course, but it's out of sync for me on the little camera, and it never used to do that, and that's an omen of poor things to come. Wild Breeder, we do not need that. Get that destroyed. Brawler's Hall means nothing to us. Get rid of that. Otherwise, I think everything else has a use. Yeah. We are going to hold on to Goblin-town, so let's chuck in a brewery and start the proceedings. We can't call it Goblin-town, though, can we? We absolutely cannot call it that. We can call it... Thraw. Oh, I don't know the art. The O. The O. What's the O? I'm sure someone said it before. I'm just going to call it Thraw now. Thraw's Vengeance. What a name for a city, eh? What a name for a city. Right, I don't think we're going to be troubled by goblins now. Because he is a general. What? Why did I just... What's happened there? Can't recruit anything. Can't build a tower there. Goblins don't have anything west of the mountains now, apart from Koloniak. But they do have a large chunk of the Vale that they've stolen. Oh, look, and Dogaldor have taken the Lower Gladden. Oh, dear. Evil spreads its tendrils far and wide. But Goblin-town has fallen. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Ben Lindelof. I thought Ronaldo would go back to Portugal. I'm a bit surprised he went to United to play in the Premier League. Well, they probably offered him more money. Hello, Gallo in chat. Hi, Gallo, just arrived. Are you playing well this morning? I'm playing very well. Absolutely on fire. Our enemies cannot hope to stop us. Greetings from Estonia. Having a good day. I intend to change that. Knight, welcome, Knight. Welcome.
The enemy lays siege to our walls.
Oh, the goblins are attacking just as... I knew I shouldn't have gone onto the left-hand side with that tower. That was silly. Barlin will not be able to lead the army. I'm running a D&D campaign around the Fall of Arnor. I wondered what was your favourite part of that time was. I don't really have a favourite part of the Fall of Arnor, if I'm honest. New citizens. That means new troops too. We get 1 unit of Erebor infantry. Oh, what? I'm really pleased we took the trouble of going all that way.
Awaiting your command. Of course, sire. Yes, sire.
Khazad-dûm build a pig farm. And it has another building constructed. And on a rod, but a large pig farm. All the pigs one could hope for. What can you go for? Archery range, ballista, steelmongers, chuck them all in. What the hell? Diplo, Kand and Ardnheim are now allies again, and Harad and the Ardnheim have declared a truce. Thrall's vengeance is under attack by the goblin scum.
Have a taste of my blade.
Have a taste of my blade. I'd really like you to attack me, because actually I will be able to defend that city so easily that it just does not matter that you've chosen to attack me.
Aye, noble sire. Setting a vigilant watch.
Oh, we border the Angmarim. They might start sticking their head in. Spy, can you come down here and see what the goblin strength is like? Ah, no, all they seem to have is Mythelberg, but that's not their capital, and neither is Koloniak, which means somewhere else belongs to the goblins.
Aye, joining our forces.
Chucking a watchtower, what the hell? Can't hurt, can it? Is that really how you have to get to Koloniak? Oh, no wonder we're not being attacked by them. That is miles away around. Alright, well, off we go. The army marches. You don't really need to bother with that garrison now, but we'll keep it there just in case Dundon get any early ideas before we are ready to go and whip them into submission. We'll put some defences up to prepare for that. And I will allow the goblins the chance to hopefully attack us, because we will just massacre them if they come. That battle map is a dream for our siege heavy army. Gallo didn't kill Barlin with siege. Get in. That's right. Gallo on fire. I'm running a D&D. We've answered that. Hello from Canada. Hello from Canada. Jameson Brown. Is that actually your name? Jameson. Surely it would just be James. Call Goblin-town. They have wronged us. They have wronged us. Good morning, Gallo. Hope you're keeping well. I am keeping well. Killer Kriegsman. Are you keeping well? Ziddick. Evil is growing wide. I don't think you're going to have an easy run north. No, our hopes to attack the elves, I think, are going to be thrown right out the window. We've got a lot of evil nations to deal with. We've reached the Blue Mountains. Our agent has arrived in the Blue Mountains. Our kinsfolk here usually live very peaceful lives, but still are ready for war when the time comes. When our agent spoke the words of our victory, all of Thorin's halls broke into cheer and celebration. Now we must wait and hope that dwarven warriors come to Khazad-dûm from the west. The Silvertime built an army barracks. Oh, would you look at that? Sign me up. We've got the best of the best. Now start on the armourer. I'm going to do the same thing in the capital now. We're just going to beeline for military. So we've got 2 solid military recruitment hubs. Ananenarod can't do anything until it becomes a castle, which is a shame. Bruinost, just build everything but the garrison because we don't need the garrison. And when can you upgrade? 5,000, so far away. The goblins haven't attacked us yet. They thought better of it for the moment.
Aye, noble sire.
I always find it interesting when he says, "My king," when you click on him, when he is the king. They should have a unique voice line for your faction leader that just says something like, "Me, yes, I'll lead us." Anything, just something. Really. Right, I would like to ally with the Blue Mountains because we're dwarves. We stand together.
I accept. Very well. What's your next suggestion then?
And they've accepted our map information.
Agreed.
So our only allies are dwarves, and that's how I want it to remain. It is that, isn't it? Yeah, we're only allied to dwarves, and that's all we shall remain allied to. The other races have proven themselves cowardly and weak-willed. Not worthy of dwarven aid, dwarven peace, dwarven support, dwarven anything. Let them die. Right, we'll give the goblins one last turn, and if they don't rise up, we'll attack them. They also have Tir Thuin. Ah, right, okay. They must have taken Tir Thuin. Yeah, that's my given name. Jameson is your given name. Wow. I've never known anyone called Jameson. I've actually never played Gondor. I like small beginnings, says Arainian and Gil-galad. Honestly, how do you keep playing? After 6 stomps of goblin armies, I tend to get tired. Well, and knowing that the goblins will eventually stop. Our battles against the goblins are now really winding down. There's probably 4 more at most. And that helps me see an end to the tide. See an end to this outrage. Let's watch now as hopefully our siege machines create just wanton carnage in the lines of the goblin aggressors. We're going to do things today that no forward-thinking nation should really allow. But it's going to be damned good. Ready the catapults. Damn right. Right, archers. Pull yourselves back. I was going to do a little box shape with you, but I don't think there's enough of you to actually bother. I think a solid line will suffice. Ready the catapults. Right, give them... and then let's block them with the real heavies, so our catapults are going to be protected.
Sorry.
You're playing out the wrong speakers.
I know, I switched my headphones on.
Cannot get the stuff. Alright, block on that side. Block on that side. Defensive. Oh, we've got 2 of those. Go and, like, just stand in the way. Really get... You're probably going to die to grape shot, but... We salute you. Boys Brigade salute. Boys Brigade salute. Just like that. But... You probably don't have boys brigades in other countries. That means absolutely nothing. I was a member of the boys brigade. Proudly so. And now watch Knight make a massively derogatory comment about me. Right, who's leading us? Oh, Balin's not here, is he? Of course. They are going to try and push through for the square so hard. You guys need to not let a single thing through. I cannot stress to you how much we need the catapults to survive here. Now, we could put a unit back in the town square, but I'm not sure it will really matter. 2 of those isn't enough. But we'll chuck them over there. Oh, look, I've always wanted to change that Khazad-dûm flag. I don't think it really suits Khazad-dûm anymore, given that it's bright red. Even if you just made it grey, I think it would work. It was something I did have on the list of things to do, because I do know how to change that. And again, I just never did it before I left. Right, ballisters, you absolutely can fire at will. You're in a fairly good place, I think. Yeah, look at that. What a dream. You guys don't fire at will, though. That's a huge waste of your talents. How many battering rams did they bring? We're probably going to win this on a technicality. Oh no, they have got their own siege. If all else fails, they've got 2 ballista crews. Ballistas always have so much ammunition. Right, new target. Switch to the new one. Bring down the battering rams. In they come. Wait for it. There they go. All you need is a direct hit on the ram and it sets it on fire. But I'd rather they get through the gate, to be honest. I'd rather the massacre can really kick off. Archers, don't waste yourselves on those. And you guys can stop firing now. There's plenty. Let them break the gate. Let them break the gate.
Are battering down the gates.
Let them come.
Damn them all!
Damn them all!
The ram is through our gates. The
Here
enemy
they
have
come.
the walls. Look to our defence or all is lost.
Now you are free. Unleash hell. Unleash fury. Rain everything you have down on them. Oh, you destroyed our own siege. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, we're down to only 2 catapults instead of 4.
Our men are winning the battle. The enemy general lies dead. Let the crows have his miserable bones, and let our swords have his men.
Who knew the ballistae would be such a pain in the patella? Catapults are absolutely vital to our success. 27% of the enemy has died. We've lost another catapult. Right, brilliant. How? How?
Battle is very much
How
in our
have you
favour.
done this?
If we remain true and steadfast,
Now, the only advantage of going
victory
down to
will be
1
ours.
catapult is that it will then get all the ammunition for both. Guys, you've pushed way too far forward. That's why you're in defensive mode. Stay in defensive mode. Oh, and you, what are you 3 up to? Ah, just sod off back to the square. Get out.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
They've lost 52%. Mostly from this single siege unit, I think. Oh, we're out of grape shot. Are we really out of grape shot? We can't be out of grape shot. We are. They've used up all their grape shot. Right, if we're subjected to... Is there anything you can actually target? Is there anything still left that isn't running away? Is it just the 2 siege units out there? It is, isn't it? Otherwise this is over. So we don't really need you to fight anymore. You don't want to be on fire at will, gods no. Right, that's pretty much it, to be honest. The only thing left are those 2 ballista crews out there. Oh, and a few units that haven't realised yet that they've lost. Well, yeah, if you can fire, see what you can do, catapult. Now the question will be, are we going to lose the other catapults, or will they rebuild them because the units survived? I think it's a noble organisation. I resent your implications. Touché, knight, touché. I'm the same. I can't play large starting factions, so I love playing him. Ladris in version 3, says Beastie70. Yeah, I always liked him, Ladris, when they only had the 1 region. Yeah, I had that issue for a long time too. Got a bit better after doing WRE and Attila. You mean like the Boy Scouts? The Boys Brigade is very similar to the Scouts, but I was in both organisations.
Our men are winning the battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Alright, now how do we get out to them without them firing on us? We can just wait out the clock. That'll be 2.5 minutes of nothing. I'm tempted to do that because they will shoot at us if we run at them. But then, if we just send crap, actually, what does it matter? This is the Goblins' last hurrah, isn't it? So it really doesn't make any odds. Oh, they've got broken units. That's such a wasteful usage of ballista ammunition. Oh no! We're definitely going to lose now because of that. I knew that would happen, haha. To use catapults and ballista, make a box in front of the gate and fire into a huge block of enemy infantry. Ah, thank you, Mr. Kill.
The battle is
Thank
very
you for your
much in our
sage
favour.
advice.
If we remain true and steadfast, victory
Most beautiful
will
show
be
of all, the
ours.
Goblin Mosh Pit. Shame we can't trap them by blocking the gate with units. Total annihilation is the best. Total annihilation is the only way. Alright, you're all out now, so... Oh no, look, they're doing it, they're doing it, they're doing it, they're doing it. Oh, I hate enemy siege so much. Why don't they use it properly? And instead, then... We are going to lose troops going down to win this. So if I was playing on my own, I would now just get my phone out and just sit here and wait 2.5 minutes. But because I can't do that, because we're live streaming, I'll rush them and make the mistake on your behalf. Just so that you have something to view. What is Batella? How does it spell?
The battle is very much in our favour.
Over,
If we
under
remain
number,
true
own
and
troops killed by grape
steadfast,
shot 80.
victory will
Over.
be ours.
See, the goblins would be wearing me down with seemingly infinite numbers if I didn't know that they only have one other town up here in the north. So this army can absolutely expend every single dwarven unit we have. There is no rush in our victory. So it just doesn't matter. We can wait as long as we like. Because once we take Mythelberg, there's no goblin threat in the north. And we're not yet at war with Gundabad, I don't think. You should have put the catapults on the wings so they're caught in a grape shot crossfire. The Ballaster didn't like the catapults, so they had to die, making the siege fair on the attacker by destroying your own siege. There is a lot of resentment within the siege battalions. The Khazad-dûm faction leader should say something like Baruch Khazad, Khazad-ai Benu. Yeah, but then you've got to get someone to record it, and historically speaking, unless you can get like someone who does voice acting actually properly, which we managed to get with Enid Wythe and Dunland, it was always so noticeable that a fan has recorded the voices.
Look how our
Like we were
foe
talking
is
about Skyrim a
utterly
moment ago.
vanquished.
How many Skyrim mods
All
are
who
absolutely
remember this
ruined
day,
by just
remember it
such
as the day
terrible
of our
voice
most
acting?
glorious victory.
278 Dwarven Catapult takes the top spot. Does your friendly fire siege rebuild itself after the battle, or is it lost forever? Let's find out, Luka Miich. I think we possibly get it rebuilt because the unit survived. The actual dwarves survived. I will always keep my catapult at angles to my front lines when I can for crossfire. Never at anything that is like too deep at my lines. Usually when they get, I usually target the archers after. Yes. I would say with a touch of peppermint. Siege is an asset, he said. Send in the 2 units as bait. Charge off the low height brigade. He knows how to use siege. That defensive battle as the last episode showed that. The trick is to keep an eye on the catapults so they don't hit your own troops.
Glory to the king.
I've already gone to great stretches and lengths in this very live stream to tell you how lazy and unbothered about min-maxing I am. And that battle would have been a win if we had just lined up our defensive forces and waited out the clock and not even used the siege. I had very little reason to care that much because this is the last goblin settlement in the north, and as you can see, there are no troops left. The goblins are out. So I'm just not bothered. This army will be retrained in time, but we've got more than enough to go and deal with the goblins now. 4 snagger units, would you believe it? But I will fight this because no, I won't. Let's see how the auto-resolve handles that. 236 dwarves were killed. You have got to be joking.
Oh,
Goodness gracious.
Run for it. Aye. Aye.
Oh well. Right, we'll just siege them out. We won't bother assaulting. They'll get their garrison. Oh, it's the faction heir. Chieftain Laglug, conqueror of Goblin-town. Not anymore. We are the conquerors of Goblin-town now.
My king.
Your name needs changing, sir, and I can do that by cutting your head from your shoulders. That'll change your name sharpish. You can jog on, son. What do you think you're off to? Oh, Callie's back. Meow. Meow.
The time's come, lads. To battle.
Callie. Hello. Oh, yes. Duke. Callie's back. Yep, as long as the siege handler survives, the unit survives as well. Yes. Yes, but we want the best for you. Yes, but we want the best for you. Start caring. I mean, if you want the best, you want someone to start caring. This is where you'll have to get off the train, I'm afraid. Watch out for those Gundabad units running around. Can I use catapult/trebuchet to target, destroy my own walls during a siege? Destroy enemies standing on my walls, or does the game prevent that? No, I don't think you can. I think if siege hits your own wall, I am fairly convinced it just does nothing. It just hits the wall and that's the end of the projectile. There's nothing further. Right, now we attack these people, so we've got to fire at them. Don't have very much in the way of ranged forces, but we do have a formidable line of real, actual elite units, which is always nice to see, isn't it? And we're probably just going to charge them with them. We've got some cavalry to do some mopping up. Oh, we've got Axe Guard of Erebor. Get them in the line. Yes, get them in the line. One line. Shamble the lines. Shamble the lines. Start the battle. Fire at will, sirs. Archers, why don't you just go and stand next to them, actually? And then the long line, you curl around that way. Speed her up. Are they going to... Oh, they've got Snagger archers, so yes, they are. And our catapult's woefully inaccurate mortar shot. Does nothing for us. In we go. Archers peppering them. Cavalry move up. More mortar shots preparing on the Goblin infantry at the back. The skirmishers haven't run away, interestingly. Oh, and the Axe Guard of Erebor, let's have a look at those. In all their Ereborian finery. Their shoulders clip through their shoulder things. They throw axes before they charge now. That was change made a while ago, actually.
Steadfast, victory will be ours.
I mean, it's much more fun to watch when it's not being min-maxed. Well, at least to me, says Matt Nairn. Thank you, Matt. Right, Siege, you stop firing now. You've done well, but we're now too close to hitting our own units. What I find fascinating is how slowly our elite units take to kill these goblins. Let's look at the shield guard for a second, because these are the worst ones. They have an attack of 5 and a defense of 26. They're up against a unit that has a defense of 3, meaning that theoretically every single hit from these guys should kill a Snagger skirmisher. And yet it takes them forever to burn through that line. It's so frustrating at how slowly they actually kill things. But if we charge them through like that, and then tell them to attack, then they get right in amongst the number. Now that strategy doesn't work if the enemy unit has even the slightest hint of damage, but because Snagger only do 1 damage and we have 26 defense, we're not losing any troops anytime soon. So. Right, where's the enemy general? He's at the back, somewhere over there. Right, the Snagger are finally defeated. Look how wide their unit formation is. Grouped together. Wow.
She'll be.
Now. Right, hit the archers. I think Galu's cat is for OnlyFans. I would have thought that aiming your siege counted as min-maxing. I wouldn't have thought that aiming your siege counted. Oh, well, Asheron L says if you use artillery on your own walls, it will destroy them. Pet the cat. Show the cat. Thank you, Beastie70. Gallo isn't here to complete or win campaigns. He's here to show us the mod and make us laugh. And I mean, on the side, I do win and complete a lot of campaigns. I think I've only lost 1.
His miserable bones, and let our swords have his men.
It's alright. I know what I'm about. I'm content in myself. 47 dwarves died in that little army. Come here. She doesn't want to jump up. She's cleaning herself. And she's probably going to toddle off to bed in a minute, and you won't be able to see that. She's meowing at me like nobody's business there. How is the cat doing? Wasn't she injured a while back? Yeah, she got in a fight and she limped around for a day or 2, but that was it. She just sprained her leg. In the same way that we would sprain an ankle. The fans demand to see the cat, says Nine. Was there any talk of bringing in the improved mercenary pool from AGO over to version 5? I have no idea, Anthony Buchanan. I am no longer part of the DaC team. I'm not privy to their discussions. So I don't know. All I see is what they have done, not what they might do.
My king.
Alrighty Roonies. That army's going to hit Koloniak, that army's going to hit Mythelberg, and then the goblins are going to get their last stand army, which will probably spawn somewhere around Thrall's Vengeance. So actually that army might well die.
Aye.
If Barling goes, Barling goes. Lord Floyd's proving himself over in Koloniak, isn't he? Osnithil doesn't really have a defense. But it gets a garrison hall, so that's fine. Alright, an end to the turn. What happens when catapult gains experience? Is it just the unit gets stats? Yeah, the siege in Med 2 is ridiculous. If a catapult or a ballista crew gets any experience, then the unit controlling the siege machines gets more attack. So if someone melees your catapult handlers, they will be better warriors. That's the only change it makes. It's really useless. Would you agree if Sauron's runic army in the north had won the Battle of Dale and the Siege of Erebor, the Wood Elves and Elves of Lothlorien would have been doomed alongside armies in the south? Absolutely no idea. I'm not sure of the numbers involved, and I just couldn't really comment, I'm afraid. I know that that's a Lord of the Ringsy based subject, but I don't know what the armies of Lothlorien and the Woodland Realm were doing. Oh, trade rights from Angmar.
Thank you enough. Have another worthy proposal then. Never. Do you think
Except we will attack. 5,000. Go on then. I am so loaded that 5,000 is now a drop in the ocean. Why don't you use the shield wall ability? It causes them to push into the goblins. Mr. Kill. Mr. Killer, you knew. I believe you might be. I use the shield wall sparingly when trying to push through a gate, because when you go into shield wall and push into an enemy unit, you lose hundreds of your own units. You get absolutely massacred. It is a last ditch, we must claim this gate, but we're going to pay for that with the loss of a unit. That's the only time one should consider using it. In other circumstances, it is really not worth it. Also, remember, when they're in shield wall, it increases their mass, but it reduces their actual size. So they will push further into that unit, but in a very small space. So they will still be completely surrounded. It won't speed up the death toll to the enemy unit. Right, Koloniak's going to be the big battle. Mythelberg, I will just siege Mythelberg till the end. They already know they don't have enough to beat me. So they are holding off.
Victory!
Oh, am I at war with Gundabad actually now that I've said that out loud? Oh, I am. Ah, curses. Then they are going to get involved early doors. They're all on their campaign to root out all dwarven armies wherever they meet them. When that army is ready, we're going to have such a dream set up down in Khazad-dûm. So we can send a reinforcing army north, but we really need Thrall's Vengeance to turn over to our side. Oh, it's already 11% dwarven, that's not bad. You can damage your own walls with your siege to destroy them. I feel like this guy could make a lot of money being a commentator in a sport. He's got such solid tone fluctuation and vocabulary. Thank you, B-A-L-A-N-C-E. Gandalf even confirmed it. Will the High Elves be able to take the Northmen? What? I don't really understand what that question is. If you're playing as a High Elves, you can beat the Northmen, yeah. But I don't understand that. Thanks, Skelly. Always wondered. You're welcome, Matt. The whole War of the Ring is set up like dominoes falling. Sauron was going to win, but destroying the ring tipped the dominoes backwards. Proceeds to attack the next turn. Angmar to attack anyways. Oh, did they attack me? Oh, no. No, they're a little bit too far away, really, aren't they? Dwalin has gained a trait. Daram has gained a trait. Construction report. Khazad-dûm has finally built a miners' union. Get me the miners' hall before we start playing straight down the barracks line. Silvertine built an armourer, which means you can now get the next one, the heavy armourer. And Anon and Arod got an archery range. Everywhere is building a thing, right? Yeah, we carry on. Oh, we've arrived with Bree. Looks like we're going to be sieging out Koloniak as well. I'd quite like that. As Knight's already pointed out, I'm fairly over fighting the goblins now. Ah, no. Gazhorn's going for Thrall's Vengeance. Of course he bloody is. What about those troops? How nearly we ready are? Oh, that's going to have to be ready enough. Dwalin, you're going to lead the army. I'm just going to take what we've got for now. Oh, we've got one unit of Eredluin pikemen. How gracious of them to send that. Send what you can. We need it going north, and we need it going now. They're all going to take 2 turns. That's too long to wait. 4 turns, 5 turns. I think you should do it the other way around, actually, because then you can train those units while you're waiting for that one to build. Cannon and Rod, can you get me those other ones yet? No, you can't. And what's that? Oh, you're never going to get up to... We're going to win this before that becomes a stronghold. I'm thinking... I don't want the goblins to be able to do anything. I don't want them to be able to spring out of Mithelberg. And remember, the Andren Vale are dead. So we've got Dol Guldur owns the entire southern side, and Gundabad owns the north. So this is all the goblins have. But I feel like we should probably pull our army back and just weather the storm in Thror's Vengeance until we are able... I'm going to do that. I am going to do that. Thror's Vengeance is far more important than taking Mithelberg from the goblins. So we're going to pull back and wait for the reinforcements to come, which is, a long time. I don't know why, but I always larp when playing this mod. When I conquer a town in Oregon as the dwarves, I sell it to the elves, says William van den Brande. Hello, Gallo. I'm playing Mordor now, and is Sauron supposed to be in the upper right of the map? Yes, he is. You can't send him off map for reasons that involve the script that involves him, so he sits up in the corner. Did you see Izzy having fun with Mumakil in his siege in his campaign? He just got mowed down bad. No, I didn't, I'm afraid. Hey, what's your favourite Tolkien book? And have you read the History of Middle-earth series? I have the History of Middle-earth. It's right there. You can't see it, but it's just behind my main screen. My favourite book of all of the Lord of the Rings is easily just The Lord of the Rings. Taking all three as one large book, which you can do, because look at this. This is The Lord of the Rings as a single tome. So I think I can call it one book. Oh, look how dusty it is. Oh! Oh! Have you ever seen anything so dusty? There we go, give it a bit of a clean down. It's got a nice little eye on the side. Oh! I have every single book that's ever been published in those like hard form. They're not really worth anything, of course, but they look nicer on the shelf. Gotta go, lunchtime. Thanks for the stream, Gally. Good. Well, you're more than welcome, Luca. Enjoy your luncheon, sir. Right, has our plan to pull back worked? Well, the forces of Gundabad haven't moved any further forward. Just want to take that fort. Get that into our name. The more people we have here, we'll get that militia garrison, then we'll carry on going with the culture. We're up at 16% now, so we're actually going up quite quickly. And in terms of a barracks, we've only got a camp guard. You've only got a miners. You haven't got a Goblin Caverns just give us a diplomat, which we don't really need. We can retrain, but I'm not really sure what it is that we're retraining. They haven't got a better armourer than us, have they? Oh, it's the Axesmiths Guild, of course. Horses for courses. Our diplomats don't need to be knocking around over here anymore, do they?
Your Honour, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, King Thorin. Standing your ground, son. They will attack that fort with Balin in it. Yeah, he's gone. Another great episode. Way to go, sir. Thank you, Oscar Y. Hello from Hungary. Hello. The AI has a habit of demanding money or attack and then attack you anyways the next turn.
Well,
yeah.
That was uneventful.
Oh, Erebor do still have a little bit, but Rune, I'm assuming, are running away with it. We are going to have to save the world now. I want to attack the elves, though. I just cannot impress upon you how much I want to attack the elves. Candy. Here she is. You don't want to be held, do you? You want to go to bed. Oh, she's so sleepy. I'll put you back down. There you go. There was your 30 seconds of Cali Cat. She wants to go to bed, and who am I to deny her? Right, they're retraining. We are just sort of waiting now, aren't we? We don't want this fellow sitting around over here. Though. Let's go and talk to the elves. See if we can't get map information from them. And then we have another diplomat. Oh, I've moved him already, haven't I? Go and talk to Rune. Go and see what Rune are up at. What they're about.
Aye, sire.
Give an end to the turn. Itchy up. Sons of the Fallen has to be my favourite looking unit of the game, hands down. Best spear unit, Sons of the Fallen. Yeah, they're very nice. They are very nice indeed. Are you able to get any new mercs? Yeah, we'll have a look. Berio are the best spears, says Marcel. Gallo, how do you do the U from Khazad-dûm? Hold down the Alt key and type 150 on the number pad or on the number keys. So Alt 150 and then it'll do the U. Maybe move people from Khazad-dûm to Bruinos with the rule that for every citizen you move, you pay 5 coins to help them move. Oh yeah, that's quite a good idea actually. Yes, I use that same cheat. Produce my single volume copy of the entire trilogy and declare it my favourite book. But I mean, of all the books of Tolkien's works, I enjoy The Lord of the Rings the most. The Hobbit, whilst enjoyable, is aimed at children, and it's noticeable in the reading of it. And the other books aren't really books, are they? Let's be honest. Unfinished Tales is a collection of literally unfinished tales. It's like a guide when reading the Silmarillion. It assists in the reading of the Silmarillion. And the Silmarillion, as you all know, is basically like it's more of a history textbook than it is an actual storybook. Whole, like, centuries are covered in a single sentence in the Silmarillion. It is a whistle-stop tour of that time period.
Aye, sire. Aye. Forward.
Forward! Oh, I'll take those archers. Wait, 2 more turns. We'll have a full backup army here by the end of this, which is good. Yeah, no, I will do that. I am going to move some people. Silvertine has 5,000 people. Khazad-dûm has 10,239. And I'd like Anon Enarod to upgrade. So I'm going to move 5,000 people to Anon Enarod. And I'm going to use the cheat you just said where we're going to pay for that. So we're going to move population. No, it's not move population, is it? It's add population. Add population. Khazad-dûm 5,000. 5, 1, 2, 3. Oh, no. Doing it the wrong way. Minus 5,000. There we are. Add population. Anon Enarod. Anon Enarod. You have to get the capitals in the right places. 5,000 people. Did you get your 5,000 people? Interesting. You got 4,000 people. Now you should have 6,000 people. Perfect. We'll chuck that in. Right, and then we're going to pay for that. So we're going to add money minus. I've moved 5,000. If it were 5 gold per person, it's 25,000, isn't it? But even that's not very much. Let's just pay 50,000 for it because it's a fairly major cheat. There we are. Right, so Anon Enarod can upgrade. Khazad-dûm has lost 5,000 people, so its tax income will go down, but its tax income is basically nothing anyway. It's all in the trade, and we've paid 50,000 gold coins for the privilege. I saw the cat. Hello from Norway. Watching this make me want to play as Khazad-dûm, but their campaign takes so long to get up and running. Yeah, it does. What is the percentage of getting the higher tier of guilds? I don't seem to ever get the second tier. The first and second tier of any guild are always available to the player. The first guild can be built in every single settlement. The second tier can be built once in your empire. And the third tier, which you will never build because the AI always beats you to it, can be built once in the whole world. So the AI always builds that first. No matter what changes we've made, no matter how much we fiddled around with the guild's mechanic, the AI always builds the third tier of guild before the human player can. There is really no way around that, I'm afraid. Well, I mean, you could probably try and put in some complicated script that stops the AI even getting it. But if you make it easier, thereby so that the player can get it quicker, the AI will just get it faster than you. And if you make it harder so that it's longer for the player to get, the AI will then again just build it before you, and the cycle will continue. Ad infinitum. Ad infinitum, depending on how you want to say that. Right, Goblin-town, Thror's Vengeance, is holding. Gundabad are massing for an attack though, but I don't think the goblins are going to get much out of that crappy backwater. But given that Gundabad haven't attacked me, what I might do is use Dwalin to go and hit Berg. We can't get any mercenaries, by the way. They're not available. I'm thinking if we take out the Ballister crews, because they're not all that useful. And I'll do that when he gets near, actually. Because if I move them into there now, then they'll be ready for him. Yeah, move out now. So if we take the Ballister crew so he can attack that if he needs to straight away, and we don't really need the Ballisters, we've just shown the Ballisters, or take all 3 actually. They're not that useful in the city siege. And we're working towards build the garrison first actually. Right, so you link up with them, and then with your elites, that's a good, I mean the Sons of the Fallen are going to ruin that Snagger garrison. Look at that, it's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. The goblins do me a disservice by merely even suggesting that we might go to war, because they are not worthy of the blades of the dwarves. We are giving them far greater a death than they ever have any right to deserve. Right, we got 2 more if we just wait 2 more turns. Yeah, go on. Oh, and we got some Khazad Guardians and Legion Hammer Guard. Did we get First Legion? Yes, but I think they may have already gone with this army. Ah, yes, they did. Oh, that really is 2 of our best units. In fact, those are our 2 best units. It's nice to see. You can train some just because you haven't got anything in the garrison over here. And right, let's see what happens if the Snow Orcs hit our ballista. Casual Dude says, I've seen you play Khazad-dûm and Edward and will we ever see you play Erebor in the future? Really enjoying watching you play the dwarves. Oh, thank you, Casual Dude. We probably would play Erebor in the future. We'll get to a point where I like to just move around the world so that we don't play in the same places over and over. I'm pretty sure that 4,000 is the max. Oh, of course. Yes, of course, of course. In the same way that money, you can't go more than 40,000, can you? So actually, my 50,000 meant nothing. Oh, the Snow Orcs did move up, and they are going to hit Thror's Vengeance. Well, we'll give them a damn good going over with our siege, then. Is the Ar-Ardenaim a made-up faction because I've never heard of it? Yes, it is. I made it up. Me. The name Ar-Ardenaim just literally means king's men. And everything about their lore and their faction makeup was created by myself.
Of course, sire.
And then the unit visuals for them were originally created by Hummingbird, and then recently they've been changed to be created by Castellan. He brought in his own models. They are based on a lore point, as most of the factions in DaC are, in order to actually create interesting and usable factions, if you will. Most of the factions have taken a small point of lore and expanded it. And the small point of lore for the Ardenaim is that there were Numenorean colonies south of Umbar in the Third Age. We don't know if they survived to the Third Age, though, actually. But there were Numenorean colonies south of Umbar at some point. Tolkien never deals with them again. So we use that snippet of misinformation, or not misinformation, but we use that little wiggle room that we've got in that we don't know if they survived to the Third Age to say, yes, they did, and they are now a fully fledged nation. How do you do hyphen? You just press the hyphen key. Do you have a different keyboard that doesn't have a hyphen on it? You probably do, don't you? Because your name is Oscar with a K. Now, this is incredibly suggestive on my part, but in an English-speaking country, Oscar is almost always spelt with a C. So I'm assuming that you're possibly of Scandinavian origin, which would mean you'd have the Scandinavian keyboard, which allows you to do the O's like in Jürgen's name, meaning you probably don't have the hyphen as a key. Which is, if that's all correct, that's fascinating to me. I think that's so cool that you have keyboards, bespoke keyboards to deal with your extra letters. What are you saying? You definitely want my map information. I'm way bigger than you. Hey, it's Elros.
Well,
back from the dead.
Aye, my lord.
Oh, they are doing terribly.
Aye, sire.
Yeah, let the dwarves hold Forlond, sorry, north. Ah, Bruinost got an armourer. Well done, Bruinost. I'm not too bothered about adding people to Bruinost because it's only a town. It will never be a recruitment hub. And that was the point of Adon and Arod, is we want it to get in line with Khazad-dûm and recruit as much as they can. Alright, there we are. We'll get 3 from them as well. Do we wait then 2 more turns? Oh, it becomes a problem. I think we should, because then we'll have a full, really elite army. And in the meantime, the Great Miners Hall will build. That's definitely the better way round.
Aye, my liege. We march to
That's such a pitiful army.
We shall hold them to siege, sire.
Alright, we'll give the Orcs of Gundabad 1 more turn, as I say. And then we'll fight them. We'll rise up if they don't. Koloniak's going to rise up as well. Their garrison would have been massively depleted by now, and we're standing on a bridge, which is very favourable to us. But what I'm tempted to do, though, actually, is siege and take Mythelberg now. And fight that, and then that'll end the live stream. And then we can then deal with Thror's Vengeance and Koloniak in a week's time when we come back. Children of Hurin. Game limit you can add doesn't apply to removing. Only 4,000. No point taking the ballast with 2. They can't operate it. Yeah, we'll just run them in and get them die. Let them die. No, I would like to fight this. I really will. Oh, hang on.
Should we move to the wall, sire?
Welcome to the 4. Sellswords and Aether Horsemen. Brilliant. Let's hit the buggers. So, Chieftain Laglug, Conqueror of Goblin-town, didn't get any garrison units, but he's got gold armoured Snagger Stalkers. Oh, what a waste. What a waste of a blacksmith's time. And Captain Orcabal with his 44 Orc Hunters comes to help. Now this is where we absolutely do not capitalise on the single best feature of Medieval 2, in my opinion, and something I was desperate and constantly tried to get Hummingbird to do. And I kept adding it to the list of things that we should do, but there were other units that needed, like new units that needed creating, and he rightfully prioritised those. But I think that every single unit in the mod should have a visual upgrade. Because it is such a unique feature for Medieval 2 that they took away almost immediately. In fact, I don't think any other Total War game after this has visual upgrades for armor, apart from possibly, and do correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Total War has armor upgrades for units. Warhammer. They're all called Total War. I mean Warhammer.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
Right, move yourselves forward. We don't have any archers. All we've got is some axe throwers. But let's have a look at our newly come units. We've got Eredluin pikes. They haven't got any armor upgrades at the moment, but they do get an armor upgrade when they upgrade. But this is what they look like normally. Just blue leather and whatever. Stalwart pike units. We've got Legion Deep and Guard. We've seen those before. 3rd Legion. Then we've got the Sons of the Fallen with quite possibly the coolest spear sword thing. Although the textures on it are a little blurry. But they still look cool. Absolutely one of the best looking units in the game in my opinion. Always have been. And they got lovely red capes as well. So standing behind them looks fantastic. They are so dependable. Many's the time I've had a unit of Sons of the Fallen surrounded by countless goblin bodies. I honestly think that unit on its own could win this entire battle. I genuinely believe that. But if they need support, we've got the Pike/Halberd merging of the 1st Legion, the Khazad-dûm finest. Taking inspiration very much from the Sons of the Fallen, as you can see, with a very similar helmet and cape, just different colour. They do have different armour, though. If we stand here, you can see there's a different armour style, different plate armour. And then Khazad-dûm Reclaimers, we've already seen those as well. They have the same armour as the 1st Legion. And they wear the masks, famed of the dwarves. Are you guys in position? You bring down that wall. You bring down that gate. There's enough for everybody. And this is what I was talking about with my disappointment with the armor upgrades. These are gold armored snagger units that look exactly the same as unupgraded snagger units. It's a shame that they've not been given a visual. Player campaign is the goblins for a change. Well, they just don't win the votes. No one ever votes for them. Isn't there another special dwarven unit called the Onyx Guard or something like that? There's the Obsidian Guard, which is available to the forces of Eredluin if they accept the rings, and that's it. Patrick Basta says, have you played Humankind yet? I've played quite a lot of Humankind with Knight of the North, who's been in and around this chat today, and Hostname, and White Bishop, and Caspos. We've played a fair amount of Humankind, and I'm absolutely thoroughly enjoying it. It's a wonderful little merging of the a Civ style and Endless Legend. There is a lot of Endless Legends DNA in a Humankind, and I really like that because I love Endless Legend. I think it is a fantastic game. Sorry, what is happening here? How did I not notice that they were coming in this way? Well, that's going to be interesting. Anyway, let's move the lines up. We're getting closer. The cavalry's not really going to be of any use today. It's this Jav Cav. Oh, and we've killed 3 of them ourselves. I knew that was going to happen. I thought about that just as I clicked move over there. I thought, you're going to kill... You're going to kill some of our own. But I let them do it anyway. Right, guys, can you target the general? Don't worry about the snagger. We're not bothered about snagger. There we go. Yeah. Kill the bodyguard for me, please. Look at this wonderful pit of death. Alright, putting my money where my mouth is. The Sons of the Fallen are going in first, and they'll be supported by the 1st Legion. Don't run, though. You don't need to sprint. You don't need to sprint. Stop firing, stop firing, stop firing, stop firing, stop firing. Oof. Right, now you can fire at will again, yeah. Forward! Right, move forward, move up. Let's send in the axe throwers as well, just to give them the assistance. Can't hurt to have some axe throwers throwing axes, can it? Same with the Jav Cav, we'll move those forward.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today.
Worth
the
today.
enemy's walls belong to us now.
Enemy's walls belong to us now. Khazad-dûm. They shall fear the sight of our beards. They bloody well will. Sons of the Fallen are in position. Get a bit of a charge bonus, lads. Let's do this. Dwarven supremacy. 253 snagger skirmishers smack into our 113 Sons of the Fallen. We'll probably lose a few Khazad reclaimers, even though snagger stalkers... Oh, look how bunched up those snagger archers are. Please shoot at them. Please shoot at them.
The battle. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, our Khazad reclaimers are charging in. Interesting. Those snagger stalkers are absolutely intent on getting the Javcav. The Baluster is suffering from its own accuracy once again, targeting the same point. If they just hit down here, we'd get so many more kills. We have lost a few Sons of the Fallen, disappointingly. Even they can be outnumbered. Ah, and there's the enemy general. Oh, you've been flanked by those stalkers. Don't worry, your first legion, you can deal with some crappy goblins on the side. Keep those pikes down. Look at that. That is a screenshot if ever I've seen one. You can do the screen lock thing, but all it does is turn everything black. Keeps the cursor in view as well, which is a shame. Look at that. Look at those staunch lines there. That's lovely. Sellsword supporting. Sons of the Fallen and the Khazad are making mincemeat of those skirmishers. Khazad-dûm. Gallo has so many favourite looking units in there. Sons of the Fallen just remind me of the Spartans of old, just an overwhelming powerhouse of a force. Can you find the units / textures models in the DaC files just to have a look at them? Yeah, every unit's in the files. They don't look like units though. The texture files are all 2D. Sons of the Fallen remind me of 300. Totally agreed on the visual armor upgrades. Is there anything more glorious than the sight of upgraded seaward troops marching into Mordor? Absolutely not, sir. The banner of the swan flying high above the ramparts of Mordor is a sight for all to see. Wondrous sight. The sellswords have beaten those, and the enemy general ran away rather than face us. So the pike line will move forward. Sellswords in support. Even sellswords are a fantastic unit. 13 attack and 18 defense. They absolutely find a home in our dwarven army. Come on, there's a single skirmisher stopping you from throwing your javelins at them. There we go. Now, let's throw some axes, please. Come on! This is one of the things I would change the most about this game. Making the axe throwing just so much better. Look how weak these axes are. They're barely even killing anything. And that's all of them done. Keep the spear line, the pike line moving forward.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Right, pikes, let's move you in. Sellswords, I want you ready to hit the general because he's going to flank us. Go back to ×6. There you are. If anyone is going to take a hit of the enemy general, I want it to be sellswords. So. Come out of defense. Let's push them back. It's disappointing though, isn't it, that even Snagger, because of their sheer numbers, are able to kill some of our elite units. Very, very disappointing indeed. The funny thing about trash units is that weapon and armor upgrades basically double the strength of the unit. Yeah. Yeah, they do.
The enemy
what type of books do you read in your spare time, out of here? Whatever I can find, really. Mostly fantasy stuff. I'm part of the book club at work, so at the moment I'm reading something called the Wide World series or something like that. It's a detective series, I think. I'm only about 10 pages in. Thanks for the stream and the fun content, Gallo. Have a great weekend. You're welcome, Fred Smith. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, Gallo, good morning from Wisconsin. Hello, Alex Laskowski. Will you ever get the basic tier units from the other dwarf factions? not as Khazad-dûm. Although didn't we get the whole of the 7 at some point? Our sellswords have taken a beating, but they are killing off the enemy bodyguard. Is that the enemy general fallen? Ah, he died. I didn't even pay it homage. I'm happy for the sellswords to die. They're mercenaries. Expensive ones at that. That would go so much faster if they were in shield wall. It would reduce the casualties as well as increase the killing speed. It absolutely does not reduce the casualties or increase the killing speed. Shield wall is not good for killing things. It's good for moving your forces through. Iranian Gilgalad asks, do you stream every week? You must be a different Iranian Gilgalad. A popular name, I suppose. 305 First Legion. Sons of the Fallen only take 287. I only say that, Iranian, because there's a fellow that has tuned into almost every stream every week who is called Iranian Gilgalad, and I assumed you were him. But I think you must be different people. But yeah, I stream in Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock in the morning, British summertime, soon to be GMT. Because we're going to come out of summertime soon. For an hour and a half, so we are now at the end. I've not read The Ranger's Apprentice, no. I've not even heard of it, I'm afraid. Gally, what's your opinion on the Lord of the Rings Amazon series being like Game of Thrones? I didn't know that's what they were going to do. I don't massively have an opinion. I think, perhaps controversially, and talking of it briefly at the end isn't really enough time for it, but I think that making it like Game of Thrones and that they're targeting a non-fantasy audience is an inevitability, and I think everyone should get ready for the fact that it is going to have mature themes. And you're all the diehards are going to moan, Tolkien would have hated this, Tolkien would have never appreciated, never have approved this. This is a tarnish to his memory. You can moan about it all you want, it's probably going to make money and it's probably going to be very popular. But there we are. Right, for now, that is going to conclude. So thank you all for coming along and watching along today, tuning in and enjoying as we stomp the goblins. Goblin-town's fallen, Berg has fallen. We are about to get the Goblin Last Stand army. And I would like very much these good, strong elite units to toddle off to Thror's Vengeance.
My king. Aye, sire.
So I'm going to move them over there in anticipation. I will just leave behind those two. I'm not, in fact, let's just get rid of you. We'll leave behind the horsemen in Berg. I'm not bothered if it falls, if I'm being completely honest. The goblins will most likely hit Thror's Vengeance. So we'll fight that in the next episode next time, and we'll also fight a Coloniac. But for now, that is all. Thank you very much for tuning in. I do hope you have enjoyed today. Of course, you can always watch them all back. Mr. Kill, if you could do some tests and present me the actual stats, I'll happily believe you. But I've played this game now and modded the game and bloody well created it for 7+ years. So forgive me if I don't take what your just comments at face value, given that I have used Shield Wall thousands of times. But present me with the evidence and I will absolutely believe you. But I'm afraid I feel like I've probably gotten you beat, given that I used to lead this mod. I made most of these units. I've tested so much of this mod. But anyway, my ranting aside, have a wonderful day, everyone. Weather update for you here. It is overcast, but quite warm. So a little bit annoying in that regard. But until we speak again, have a wonderful week. Navaher na den peravad melodin. And farewell.